Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
How are you feeling about yourself? Well.
What is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Lauren, and my friend here, Alyssa. We went to the BTS Love Yourself concert on October 2nd in Chicago and October 3rd. We're going to be talking about October 2nd when we got GA tickets. And we're going to be answering some questions that we had because we understand that GA is a big thing for a lot of people. It's different with every single one, so we want to share our experience so you guys can see what happened in Chicago and then go for that.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions and we watched a lot of videos before we went. And there are some questions that the videos didn't answer that we had, so we thought it might be helpful to make our own. Disclaimer, we're only talking about our one day of GA. We haven't done other concerts. Like we didn't do the Wings tour GA, so your experience might have been totally different than ours, and that's great. We're only talking about what we personally felt.
Yeah.
Let's get it!
The first question that we have on our list of paper, how do I get the tickets, Alyssa?
Well, the short answer is we didn't. What I would recommend the most is if you can't get tickets for face value the day that they're released, which a lot of people can't, I would go on StubHub or Vivid Seats like immediately that day and buy the tickets, because that's when I noticed they were the closest to face value. Was the day that the tickets went on sale. Other than that, we kept like waiting, hoping prices would drop, and they never did.
It's BTS. They're not gonna drop.
Yeah.
Other concerts maybe, but not with BTS. Not with how big they are now.
Yeah, we were looking at other concerts too, and really like prices for GA didn't drop until maybe like an hour before the concert, when the concert had already started. And by that point, like, you're way too committed to not know if you're going to be able to actually get a ticket or not, at least for us.
If you make a spreadsheet, we recommend just like looking at every single one, figuring out every single ticketing site, how they work. If you like StubHub, you can do price alerts, so definitely check that out.
We got ours on Vivid.
Yeah, we got ours on Vivid Seats. Also, I'd recommend before the concert to double check and call Ticketmaster or Vivid Seats just to make sure that the ticket is authentic, because we had a couple people who got tickets and they weren't authentic, but you can usually tell.
We were able to call Ticketmaster and give them our ticket numbers, even
though
we didn't buy them on Ticketmaster, and they confirmed our tickets as being real, which was like just a huge relief for us.
How early do I have to get there once I have the tickets?
So that answer depends on how close you would like to be to the barricade.
So we wanted to be barricade. We had high hopes. We started off thinking we'll get there at 8. Because we're
8 a.m. the morning of the concert.
of the concert. And then we're like, maybe 4:30 or 3 a.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. sounds good. Ooh, maybe midnight the day before. And then we ended up having to... So our concert was Tuesday. We got there Monday morning. Monday morning. We left at 4 a.m. here where we live to get to Chicago around 9 a.m. Okay, we were about 200s in line, early 200s, in the unofficial line. Our
line started lining up Friday afternoon for the Tuesday night concert. Barricade, I feel like the top like 150 people were absolutely guaranteed barricade.
Yeah.
And after that, it was all kind of like luck of where you wanted to stand for this stage.
A lot of people went to extended stage. So there was like a second row barricade when we went in there, but there was still barricade left like on the
main stage.
Yeah, and on the catwalk there too, a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's all about where you want to be.
I can tell you, if we would have gotten there when we originally wanted to, which was like 6 a.m. the morning of the concert, there were already over like 500 people in line.
Easily.
Easy. And that was just by like the person that was running the line, her giant notebook list of names. By Saturday, there weren't that many people that showed up in between Friday and Saturday, I don't think. Sunday is kind of when a lot of people started coming in.
So that's 2 days before the concert.
And even when we got there Monday morning, I feel like, once again, it wasn't until like Monday night that I noticed like a significant amount of people. Different from when we had gotten there.
And I'll put a link on the description too to a vlog that I took of our journey, and you can see the tents too lined up there and like how far they go past our little sad excuse for a tent. Okay, so moving on.
What do I bring to the line while I wait?
Well, do we have the answer for you?
Tent.
Please bring a tent. If you want to stay there overnight, if you have any desire to stay there overnight, please get a tent. Chicago can get cold, so know where you're going to the concert at. We brought chairs, blankets, a tarp. We didn't bring a tent though. But we also stayed at our Airbnb overnight because we already had our unofficial wristbands, so we could do that.
Overnight being like the 3 hours that we weren't there.
Yeah. Camping gear, like pretend you're really camping out in the wilderness because
basically
that's hydrate 3 days before is what we would suggest.
Yeah.
So bring water when you're in line.
Obviously, like when you're in the pit for the concert, if you go to the bathroom, you're not gonna be able to get your spot back. So the day of the concert, we didn't like drink a lot. We avoided caffeine since that makes you go to the bathroom more.
So no coffee, no tea.
So we just try to like really hydrate like the days leading up to the concert, so that way we wouldn't pass out the day of the concert. We ate like a really good dinner.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty fueled up. Stuff to do, like a speaker to listen to music, charging like banks for your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, like something fun that we did was I made a BTS Taboo game. So you can do fun things like that, you know, and then make friends with the people around you. Also, bathrooms and charging stations. So our venue, they had bathrooms open in the venue center that they were letting people go into like all throughout the night. So that was really, really nice. Like United Center is like really, really nice, I think, and compared to the other venues.
They were super organized. They did not have to let people into their bathrooms, but they had like a security guard who would like let people in.
Yeah. And they had little charging stations too inside the venue, I think. We didn't use them, but that's what we heard, that people were charging their phones in there, which was really nice too. Was it really cold?
It wasn't super cold for us. I mean, it got like down to the 40s at night. Yeah. But like we're from the Midwest, so we're used to it. Our friends from Florida.
Yeah, if you're flying in from Florida or like a warmer climate.
They were shook.
Make sure you check the radar and you stay updated. If it rains, make sure you know if it's going to rain too. Yeah. It rained
a lot.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to set up your tent properly, make sure you Google that so that way you don't get rained on or anything.
A lot of people's tent got like flooded overnight.
But
yeah. Lots of snacks, lots of blankets, things to do. Blankets.
Yeah.
Friends to talk to.
Bring friends, yeah. And make friends too.
Yeah, that's like a really important tip. I feel like is when you get there, you're gonna want to like check in, and then you're gonna want to go back to your spot and like introduce yourself to the people around you, so that way they know like your face, and if you have to leave for some reason, they can vouch for you and be like, no, she was here, like this is her spot. Like we're talking about the unofficial line a lot, and then there's an official line, and like what does that all mean? How did the unofficial line work? There was a girl who got there first, and she decided she wanted to run the line, and she had like a list of rules in her head that she like enforced the whole time. And how she did it was you went up, you checked in with her, she wrote your name next to a number on a notebook paper, and then you got a wristband from her that had a number written in Sharpie on it. And that was like your unofficial line number. She had been told from the venue security, reportedly, that as long as the unofficial line was organized and we were calm, that they would honor our line. Like we're not going to get into the whole camping, should you do it or shouldn't you do it? Yeah. Like that's not what we want to get into because we'd be here for another half an hour. But the point is like camping happened. Like I said, this girl got there Friday afternoon and camped all the way until the concert, and like no one, you know, did anything about it. What
everyone wants is organization and calm. Be happy and know where they are.
Yeah.
And that's what the venue wants too.
Yeah, and it's hard because like we all want the same thing, and that's to be super close to the boys. But I thought that the venue and the unofficial line organizer did like a really good job of being fair and like keeping things organized and keeping people calm.
Yeah, and we were even talking about it before we turned on the camera. Like, it was a lot more calm than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that was really nice to see too. Like, we all want the same thing, but we're all like adults here too.
Oh, yeah. Or accompanied minors. So we got our wristbands and then we waited in line. And then they had a certain time that they told us to line up in this unofficial line.
Yeah.
So we all lined up according to our wristbands, and then the security staff came out from the venue around like 8 to 9 in the morning the day of the concert. And this is when like the tea happened.
Yes. And so like we got these army like, you know, right beside us. So that's what.
Yeah. Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, so there's this group of there's this group of moms, and they decided.
Drink your Starbucks when you tell it.
Yeah. Tea. You take a sip. So there's this group of moms, and they decided that, you know, who's letting this girl run the line? Like, we heard them be like, you know, none of this matters, and they just like walked up to the front of the line. So there's like the entrance to the venue, there's our unofficial line, and then there's just this mob of like 30 people that decided that they didn't want to wait in the single file line that we had all organized and been staying in for 4.5 hours. There was a lot of like commotion. We were like further back, so we weren't like caught up in the drama, but like people were screaming at each other.
Yeah.
It was getting intense. People were like calling them fake fans.
But it got resolved at the end because
They said they were going to start passing out wristbands at like 10, and I'm going to say like no later than like 9:30, 9:40.
They started walking back. So the venue did actually honor the unofficial line.
Keith and Clint from United Security, shout out, they're amazing. They came out and they were like, we're honoring the unofficial line. Whatever your number is on your wristband in the unofficial line is going to be the number that we will hand to you for the official wristband. So then all those people just had to sadly walk all the way to the back of the line. Like, they were probably over 700 at that point.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, the venue wants organization. They don't want, if they let those other girls go in first, that's not fair, and it's just going to
cause like a big
riots.
stampede of people. I think for the most part, I think every venue honored the unofficial line.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they had different ways of how they went about like moving that unofficial line to the official line.
Yeah.
Ours was just very like fluid. Oh, I also want to say we were on a Facebook group, and there was a lot of misinformation about what the venue was going to do with the unofficial line. Like, there were people saying they're going to call Chicago PD and they're going to come escort people off the premises because camping's not allowed, and they're going to do a lottery system where they're just going to like randomly draw numbers and hand you a wristband. And people kept like calling the venue and panicking. And really, like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Camping was allowed. The police came and they were playing BTS songs as they drove.
They were playing dope.
Past. Yeah. Like, the security guards were doing rounds overnight, checking on people. Like, it was super peaceful, and like, there's no conflict.
Yeah. And, you know, the venue was with the lottery system. I think a lot of other venues were getting told the same thing, too, with that. And people would call the venue and they would say, we're doing a lottery system. But that's not what happened. So this is just like an example. Don't call because they're just as stressed. They don't know what's going on.
Right. Don't make like a bad example for us.
Yeah.
Like, I think the venue like legally has to say that they're not going to allow people to camp on their property because they don't want to be responsible for if something were to happen. At the end of the day, like, it was honored because there were already so many people in a nice organized line for them.
So it worked out. Yeah, they were happy. We were happy.
Yeah. They started giving out wristbands at 10 a.m. and then we had our wristbands by like 10:30.
Yeah.
And we were able to leave, shower, take a nap.
We were early 200s.
Yeah, we got, I think I was like 210 or something. And then we were able to come back. The venue just said, be back here by 4:30 and be in line with your wristband number. So
that's what we did. And people, I mean, we were friends with the people around us, so they left a little spot for us in line, like where we were standing. It's very organized. Everyone's peaceful. I mean, in the line, it's fun, you know, being in the line, being around that many armies. People are playing BTS songs and dancing.
Doing fan chants.
Yeah, it's a fun time. So don't stress about it too much and focus on the positives.
Yeah, people were friendly in the line.
Yeah, they were. So as soon as we started walking in, as soon as they opened the gates to be let into the concert venue, United Center was really, really nice with how they did it. They had 4 sections there. So they took like 10 people maybe, 10, 15 people at a time, and they moved them in. So like this first section here will go to this opening, and then they'll go through security, and then the next 10, 15 people will go here, and then they'll go through security. And it was all lined up like, you go through security first, your group was here second, your group goes to security second. There was no chaos, or there was no running, you know, because nobody had to run.
You literally went into the venue the number that was on your wristband. It was super,
it was very nice.
Like, we were very stressed.
We were so stressed.
But like the actual like process of getting in went a lot more calmly than I thought.
Yeah. Just travel light so you can get through security quicker, because you never know.
Yeah, so I would recommend, like, if you have a car near the venue, like, taking a lot of your camping stuff down, obviously before the concert starts, and like putting it in the car. We took everything back to our Airbnb, and we just try to limit, like, you could only have certain sized backpacks. You'd have to check with the venue's website to see what they would allow. Our venue said like no water bottles, so we weren't allowed to bring anything in. Like, some people brought small little signs, but like big signs weren't allowed. I would just like recommend just bringing as little as possible, because the pit is so crowded that you're not going to want to have like all these things to carry. It'll just make it really hard for you.
Like, I brought a little J-Hope flower. Like, I just cut out a construction paper flower and put J-Hope's face on it, because I wanted to, like, you know, pull it up and so that you could see it, and it didn't make it to the start of the concert. Just because there's so many people there, it's hard to have a lot of stuff around you or like on your person. So
yeah, we just got through security. So now what?
Now what do you do?
Where do you go?
You have a couple of options: the main stage, extended stage, and the catwalk. The best place to be is probably the extended stage, but unless you're top 1 through 50, maybe 80, like, you're not gonna get barricade there, and then like Alyssa refers to it as the death trap there. So we recommend, like, just know that it's a lot of pushing. It's very intense there, because that's where everyone wants to be.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to see like all the stages in their entirety. You're not going to be looking at anyone's back like at any time.
Yeah, it's good seats, but just be careful. You know what you're getting into when you get there, because everyone wants to be there. And then you have the catwalk there, which is where we were. We were there's like steps that connect right outside of the catwalk to the extended stage. So I'll put an image right here.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Yeah, which was nice, because we were there because, you know, what if the boys come down and like want to touch us or something like that? Like, that's always fun. So that's where we didn't want to be where the extended stage was.
We had pretty good views of like the main stage and the extended stage. Like, obviously their backs were to us for a lot of the extended stage, but for like a lot of their songs where they're having more fun. And then just like kind of playing around, they would like come over to us and like dance in front of us, and like we can put some clips of them like dancing like right in front of us, and like these aren't zoomed in. Like, this is how close we actually were. It was amazing. that was us being like 210 in line, and we got this close because we kept wanting like a number, like what number guarantees us to be close,
or like barricade, or just like
barricade,
second row, something.
I would say top 150 for sure. You're going to be barricade.
On extended stage.
On extended stage and catwalk. And beyond that, it all kind of depends on where people fill in.
So when we walked in there, the way that we were let in was more kind of angled towards the left. It was like, this is the stage, we were let in. Or I guess for you guys it would be, we were let in this way. So your first view is the left side of the pit, which was kind of full. It was like full, everything was full at the extended stage. It was 2 rows back. And then it kind of died off around where the steps are. So it like started to build up more as more people came in. So we went to the right side of the stage, which in this tour is where the Hyung line went more. And we were second row right there next to the steps, which was really nice.
Yeah, I liked our spot.
Yeah. What was the pit like?
What was the pit like?
So Alyssa, what was the pit like?
So once again, we're gonna focus on some positives first.
Yeah, because we have a lot. Well, actually,
should we do negatives first? Yeah. And end with positives. Okay, negative. There was a lot of pushing in our concert. No, I remember being at Wings, and I remember the members having to say like, "Please stop pushing. Please stop pushing." So they never had to say that for us. Like they started the concert being like, please be respectful, please don't push. So I was like thankful we didn't get like scolded from the members because I would have felt bad. We didn't get that, but there still was a lot of pushing. All that being said, what was the pit like?
What was it like? Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
We're going to focus on positives, but we're going to start with the negatives so we can end on a positive note.
I can go first. Well, actually, there's two things that I want to say. One, if you have barricade. So there was a situation where there was this girl who brought me up to barricade. She was so sweet, an angel, literally from God, brought me up to barricade. She had her hands on the barricade, and there was a girl behind her who got mad that she brought her up there, which is understandable, but she had her hands on the barricade. This girl, second row, put her hand on the barricade and tried to put her arm on this girl's arm and pushed her down. So like, this is the girl in second row, and she pushed her down like that. So her hand would come off the barricade so she could slip in there. Things like that happen, okay? I'm not trying to be negative, but it's just something to watch out for. If you're in barricade, you've been waiting there since Saturday, you gotta, maybe do some like dumbbells or something like that while you're waiting, because stuff like that happens. Also, if you're short, I'm very short. She's very tall, so she doesn't have this problem, which is really good.
I agree.
But I'm like barely 5 foot. So what I did, I wasn't able to stand next to Alyssa next to the concert because I couldn't see. So what I did was I found this girl like maybe two person lengths away, or maybe 4 or something like that. It was a bit away. And she was shorter than me, so I made friends with her, and I was like, hey, can I stand behind you? And she was like, yeah, sure. That's what you need to do. If you're short, just find someone who's shorter than you. If you have to move away from your friends, you have to decide is it worth more to you to stand with your friends, or is it worth more to you to see the boys? So that's something you have to decide. Yeah.
I think my important points would be, if you are claustrophobic, I think you should seriously reconsider doing GA, because you are just like sardine. Like, this is not an exaggeration. Like, you are shoulder to shoulder, and we were second row, and there are probably at least like 10 rows of people behind us. Easily. And like every time one of the boys comes near, the crowd obviously is excited and kind of surges forward, and you couldn't move. Like, I couldn't even turn my hips at some point to like look at the like VCR. Like, I had to just like strain to see. If you're claustrophobic, if you have like anxiety with a lot of crowds, I would reconsider. If you're super young, even if your mom's gonna be there with you, I just don't think it's worth it. If you're super short, like Lauren said, just like consider, like realize that it could be a possibility that you're not gonna be able to see a lot of the stuff going on, like because you can't even see over people's heads to look at the big screens.
Exactly. That's what one of our friends had, that problem. She couldn't see hardly any of the concert. She had to put her phone to see it. So that's something, just to consider when you're, it's not like a negative necessarily, but it's just, things that we ran into that we want to warn you guys about.
And you do have to get there super early, like we talked about, like if you want to be close. So just like factor all that stuff in and just decide if it's right for you. I know I can say, like, I'm so thankful that I did GA. It was like a bucket list for me. Like I never, like, positives.
Only for
we
BTS.
Were so close to them.
I'm just gonna put some photos, videos here of how
so close.
I've never experienced Yoongi that way. Like, he really wrecked both of us being that close to him.
But I personally will not do GA again for BTS because I've had like P2 seated tickets and had just as good of a time. You don't have to put in the time to get in. Like, it's just the pro or con for me. Whereas to one of our friends was like, all things considered, I'm gonna do GA every concert,
which is totally cool.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
So the main positives were you're super close. You get water thrown on you.
You get
the boys, like, they're super interactive. They did like a really good job at like going around and like making sure that you were like, they just did great fan service. I felt like we got like water thrown on us like 3 times, twice by Yoongi and once by Hoseok, which was awesome. Like, we had members come over and like point at posters that our friends had and like thumbs up and like
looked
dance
at her
in front of us.
Like, you can make eye contact with them. I made eye contact with Yoongi. Like, she's a Jimin stan too, so that was a really big moment.
Was big. So like there's a lot of like really cool things that happen in the pit too.
Yeah, for like a one-time thing, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm totally satisfied and enough to never do it again.
Hey, stop it! Stop it! Just stop it!
Never.
Yeah, the next day we had like P6 front row seats, so it was really nice.
Like the upper level, but we were like right up against the glass.
Yeah.
And so we could see everything. We got there, like we got a drink. We like were able to like go out to dinner before. We were dancing. Like we had room to move.
The people around us were so nice too.
Yeah. The crowd was super hype.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like different concerts. If you get GA and then seating, it really, because GA you're so close to them, but then seating you can actually kind of appreciate the concert, at least for me.
Yeah, I appreciated the whole, like, because you're just like trying to make it through. Like you're so tired and you're so thirsty and you're so tired of being like packed together that you're just like, okay, I can do this. Like we can do this. We have like an hour left. Whereas the whole like seated experience, at least for me, I was like, no, like don't go.
She cried.
I cried actual tears.
It was amazing. It was such a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Both of them were wonderful in separate ways. And both of them had their pros and their cons.
Yeah. So we just wanted to make this video to let you guys know our pros and cons, our story. If you guys have any more questions or anything that we missed that you want us to talk about, or something different that you want to share about your experience, please let us know in the comments below. Is there anything else that we're missing?
No, I don't know. I mean, like, we can wrap it up. It was a life-changing experience.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Definitely not the same person after that concert.
Yeah. What I do want to say is, I know the tickets are expensive, but if you have the chance to go to a concert, I really, really recommend that you do. I think they put on such a good show. They're such performers.
Yeah.
It was well worth the money for me.
It's like a whole nother level when you go, like if you're a BTS fan, but then when you get to go to a concert, it's like a whole nother level of appreciation you have.
Yeah, they did a great job. It's time to close up.
I guess so. Well, the battery's gonna die, so that's right.
Make sure you like this video and subscribe to Lauren's channel.
Yeah, maybe Alyssa will be featured on more videos if you want to see her beautiful face here. Okay, for closing the Hot Wig Market, ready? Bye! Subscribe!